Hello and welcome back to another beautiful weekly update here at Riverside Boatyard and Marina. All right, you guys, today is Thursday, April 28th. Oh my gosh, we're almost at the end of the month, and I've gotten a lot done, but I have a lot further to go. So let's hop right into it. What have I done this week? Well, look at this. It's a beautiful new main sheet. Well, look at this. It's a beautiful new color coordinated traveler line, and on the other side, and a beautiful main sheet, and a beautiful jib sheets. Boom bang, not a main sheet, there we go. Yeah, for $180 at Miami Cordage, I was able to get all new running rigging, except for my halyards. I'm not changing those, they're in great condition. But yeah, I went in there with my buddy on the way down for our kite trip, got all the measurements done, and they mailed it up to me. Big shout out to Miami Cordage. They did a fantastic job. I got a tour of their facility. I was not allowed to film, believe me, I asked, because it was fascinating. They do government contracts, and they just gave me a very big no. But it was super cool to be able to do, so I was very happy about that. Let's move it on to the next item. Ooh, right here, don't even have to go far. My little lovely boat garden. If you guys follow any of my Instagram stories and like that, you probably will have seen me cooking with the herbs in here. And I've come to find out that at least once a day, I'm making a meal with the herbs that are in here. And I absolutely love it. It makes a huge improvement. There's a good chance I'm gonna get 2 more to have 4 of these. But this little experiment here so far is going really, really well. I'd love to have some different ones, maybe mint, maybe oregano, different types of basil, more rosemary. I'm kind of good on the time. The time is just it's a little time consuming to actually use it, which is funny enough. But yeah, the idea of gardening while out there, you know, harvesting my food from spearfishing as well, just really, really, really captivates me. So we'll see where that ends up going. Hopefully I'm able to make it work while I'm out there. Really excited about that. All right, let's see what else is going on. One of the difficulties of doing boat projects is that everything I own is on the boat. I don't have a trailer or a storage unit I can bring to a lot of my stuff. So I've got to do it with it all on here. So it ends up taking up quite a bit of room. But check this out. I don't know if you guys remember this room before, but the aft cabin has always been kind of dark. I've got a couple lights here, but they never get these corners. So I finally, while I've got my electrical tools out, decided I would do a little bit of work to the lighting in here. And I think it's pretty good. Whoa! It never fails to impress what $20 worth of an LED light strip can do to especially a closed space like this. It's incredible. I've always disliked how dark it gets, especially back here where your feet go. And it makes the space seem smaller than it is because you can't see all the way in, like a dark tunnel, literally like a dark tunnel. So this is a great improvement to the space and really took minimal effort. But the main reason why I'm back here and surrounded by all this different stuff is this big boy. 3000 volt amps, not watts, but volts amps. Makes sense if you're into it. Victron Multi-Plus charge controller inverter. This thing was $1,300 and everybody says it's worth it. It's gonna be reliable, it's gonna do the job. I'm excited to see it. So I've been, with the help of Peter, installing this. Now we've got some more of the components here so I can finish up doing that. But this is gonna be part of the major upgrades to the boat. The other part will be building this here lithium iron phosphate battery bank system. You've got 4 3 amp. You have four 3 volt lithium cells here. Putting them in series will give you your 12 volt battery. This will be a 280 amp hour 12 volt lithium battery. Compare that to, say, Battleborn. In the same space you'll get a 100 amp, but it'll cost you a little bit more than, probably about 60% more. Actually, no, that's not correct. Compare this to, say, a Battleborn, which is 100 amps. This is 280 amps. Price-wise, I think I'm probably putting about, oh man, maybe $500 into, yeah, probably about $500 or $600 into each of these batteries, these two of them. But these give me 280 amps versus a battle board would only give you 100 amps. So you're looking at quite a bit more there. Pretty excited for all that. I've also been working my absolute butt off down here in the aft bilge, replacing the bilge pump, replacing the check valve. My last month in the Bahamas, I had no working electrical bilge. I had to use the manual bilge, and it worked, but it's not recommended. As well, I discovered that this boat used to have a gasoline engine in it once upon a time, probably original, so it had 4 hoses going everywhere into it. And the thing was, is the blower wasn't even working, and one of the hoses was like clamped off anyway, it was just squished. So it really wasn't getting hardly any of the airflow. So instead I've reduced it down to 2 hoses. I'm putting a new, more powerful blower that'll actually work on the end of one, and the other one will then be venting back out. So the one hose will actually draw air out, the other hose will help pump air in, as well holes, which you can see here because I have cleaned this surface. No more scrawny little inverter. That's my inverter now. No more. This used to have a voltmeter right here as well as a breaker. The breaker we're keeping, but everything else we're losing. Just trying to reduce things that don't need to be in here anymore. And this is all with the help and thanks to my buddy Peter, who's here at Riverside with me. He comes over, he gives me his electrical professional 2 cents on things, and it helps immensely, so I'm not doing anything too wrong. So this has all been going great. Pretty excited for it. As well, because we now have my we now have my charger in here, my battery charger, I've been able to get some free space freed up. But before I go into that, it's important to note that this will actually be plumbed directly into the full AC system of my boat. Meaning, before I only had AC power on the boat when I was plugged in at a dock. This will now be, I can still do that, but this system will now be plugged directly into my 120 volt AC panel. So I can flick that switch, then this outlet turns on, that outlet turns on, the other outlet, got one up there. So that'll be cool. I'll have power throughout the boat instead of before. I literally ran my inverter here, an extension cord through this, through here, up into there, and then back into there. And that's how I had AC power on the boat last season. It worked, but it was by no means ideal. So we're making improvements here. Because of this, I no longer have to have the batteries stock from France, battery AC shore power controller. That's a mouthful. As well, there was also a AC converter that did 220 to 110 for when you're in European countries. Both of those were housed directly under here. Now this used to be a just a little booth seating, but obviously I upgraded. I cut this hole here and I just got the hinges and the little mechanism, so I'll be installing that soon. But this, all this beautiful space, this is all highly important space because it's easy to get to, it's clean, it's dry, and it's safe. So this will now become even more a part of my editing station here, where I've got a little 12 volt power running in there, I've got big space in there, and then more space right here as well as the shelves. So this is all just going in line with freeing up as much space on the boat as I can. Getting rid of those hoses, getting rid of that stuff. So now I have a little bit more space to work with here. The other thing I've been doing is the bilge. I'm gonna plug in a little bit of footage right now from before. Cleaning and reorganizing, getting dirty. My feet are practically black because I've just been cleaning the bilge. Now this is after a lot of cleaning, but I clearly still have a long ways more to go. I've been cleaning out the bilge for the past couple days, but I just took the strainers off of the main bilge and you can see some of the hair that's left over. This is why I tell all the ladies on my boat, anybody with long hair, and that's gonna mean me soon, that you gotta brush your hair outside. I suppose it's gonna be spick and span soon though. Ew. So you see, it was pretty grimy, and that wasn't even the worst of it. I actually forgot to film the first probably 6 hours of cleaning. But this is what I want for the whole thing. You can still see some standing water in here, just some general dirt and grime. Again, this has all been cleaned a little bit before, but I'm gonna make this pretty spotless, and it'll be great because in the future I will be more likely to get in, dive into the bilge, check things out. And that's what this refit is all about, is making things not just work better and not just for me to know them better, but make it easier in the future for me to be working on them. Because in the future, if I need to work on something, I'm more likely to do it if it's cleaner, if it's less of a headache, all that stuff. Whew, it's been a busy week. And some of you may notice just how cluttered the boat is. I mean, it really is it's quite the space to be working in, as well as up here. But again, without a storage unit or something, this is what I'm left to do, is try to work within the space that I've got with everything crowded in here. So when I do finally splash and the boat is ready to go out to the ocean again, everything will be so clean and tidy and organized. And I can't tell you guys how excited I am for that day. It's coming, but, and that's a big announcement I want to make to you guys, it will not be coming until June and until the end of June, unfortunately. I took a good hard look at everything that's going on and the plans that I have at the moment, and I realized there's no way that I'm going to be getting done what I need to before that time, not without killing myself and rushing. And I feel like I've already been killing myself in a lot of ways, and I don't have to. I wouldn't mind actually enjoying the work a little bit more in what I'm doing. So with that, I have two announcements for you guys. One, I will be on an extended kiteboarding trip to Corpus Christi, Texas with my buddies Derek and Chad. And I will also still be editing the video from our last kiteboarding trip here shortly, down to the Keys. But yeah, I need an adventure. I need a break from all this, and that's exactly what this trip all the way out to Corpus Christi is all about. We're going to be focusing on improving our kiteboarding. Who knows what adventures we're going to get into on the way there. I have a couple surprises, a couple places, detours that I want to take the guys that I think will make for some incredible footage, so I'll let you guys know on that. Also on this trip, I'll be filming, testing, and reviewing the Insta360 One X2 camera that they sent me. Really, really excited for that collaboration, to be working with them. It's going to be an incredible trip for sure, but ultimately it will be pushing back my splash date, and that's okay. I'm very much so burnt out on what's going on with the boat here. I've got a lot still ahead of me, and I need to feel good about what I'm doing if I'm going to do good work about it. So I think this break will help a lot. I think I'm going to make some great progress in the next couple days before I do leave, but once I do leave, my mind will be on the trip. My mind will be away from the boat projects, and I'm really excited to just to be able to go relax and have some fun and get away from the boat. Sailing and the boat life is fantastic, even when you're out there, much less obviously on the hard here, but you gotta take breaks from it, because it's just, whew, it's a lot on the mind. It's a whole lot on the mind to always be worrying about it. It's not like a house at all. Like at any minute, your whole boat can just sink. And that's one thing that's nice about being in the boatyard, is I can just leave on this trip, not worry about my boat, and be fine and dandy. Alright you guys, thanks for sticking through to the end of the video. It has actually been a big week. It didn't feel like it until I started going through all the projects, but there has been quite a few. I want to say a quick shout out to my patrons, Dustin Holland, Amy Angleton, Mom and Dad, Ken and Christine Berkhamshire, David Page, Renee Chai, Todd Howman, Jeff Vander Mead, Rollin' with the Tide, and Alexander Taylor. They are my patrons, and I absolutely love them. Thank you guys for supporting the videos and what I do. It's all possible because of them. If you'd like to join my Patreon page, head right on over. There'll be a link in the description on the page, and I hope I see you guys over there. Other than that, I'll see you guys next week, where I will be in Corpus Christi, Texas, hopefully living it up and getting high with kiteboarding. Yoo!